Here we are again, everyone, with another Topgun Chen 3D printed airplane. Here's a few images of other things the person makes and collections from their various years. And even get into boats. Okay, commercial airplanes. Today we're going to talk about the Russian Sukhoi SU-34. NATO codes names this thing as the Fullback. It's of Soviet origin. It's a twin-engine, twin-seat, all-weather, supersonic, medium-range fighter, bomber / strike aircraft. It had a maiden flight back in 1994, but its manufacturing officially was in 2006 and is still made to today. Over 160 of them have been made, and I guess it was introduced perhaps into the Russian military in 2014. It has a length of over 23 meters, a wingspan of almost 15 meters. It goes Mach 1.8. It has a combat range of 1,100 kilometers. Let's see. I guess the cruising range might be 4,000 kilometers. Anyways, it has a little 30 millimeter cannon here, and then 12 hard points to mount missiles, bombs, whatever it is, up to 12 to 14,000 kilos worth. The capsule is armor plated 17 millimeters, and the whole cabin is pressurized almost like a commercial airplane. Well, I guess like a commercial airplane. So this thing can fly up to 10,000 meters or 32,800 feet. There's even room for people to lay down in the back and stand up and walk around, stretch their legs a little bit. The advantage of having a side-by-side seating is you don't have to have duplicate instruments. You know, with tandem seating, you have to have duplicated instruments. So the pilot is on the left, and then the person more involved with tracking and assaulting other things is on the right. All right. So there's two radar systems. The main radar can simultaneously track 10 air targets and attack 4 of them. But this thing also has a rear-facing radar, and that's capable of launching R-73 missiles against pursuers. So kind of like that old movie, Foxfire, was it? Or Clint Eastwood had some movie where he stole a Russian airplane and had rearward-facing missiles. So that's pretty cool. I don't think the missiles face rearwards, but it shoots them out and they just go turn around, I suppose. But basically, the plane doesn't have to turn around if something's chasing it. That's really neat. Okay, so yeah, you can see the deformation here. And before I forget, the width of this thing is roughly 12 centimeters or 5 inches. The length is around the same. It's basically almost like a square. So it's very sleek, even though it's got 2 side-by-side seats. You don't think of fighter planes as being big, but if these are 2 people, this is a huge aircraft. It's really large, but it still looks very sleek. Not maybe so much in this form, but it looks pretty neat, I think. I guess it's got to be pretty heavy, or this is a short runway, because it's got parachutes trying to stop the thing. And then that's also really a cool shot, right? You can buy these things without finishing. So if you just want the raw 3D printed stuff and save a lot of money, you can make the model yourself. But I'm busy making other stuff right now. There's a whole lot of stuff this thing came with. We'll just dump those out now, but talk about them after we talk about the main plane. Okay. I also paid extra for the pilots painted. It doesn't come with figures, so you gotta pay extra for that. Okay, I gotta say right off the top, this paint job is just awesome. I've been building some egg planes myself, and it's a real pain to paint stuff. You gotta mask things off, clear coat in between certain layers, and just it's a real pain. This is a lot of work going on in this thing. So I think maybe it's shot with this sky blue fries, probably primered first, then shot with sky blue, and then you have hand painted gray and this tealish color, and then there's like ghosting. I don't know if this is airbrushed. There's a little bit of fading around the panel lines, right? Or maybe that was pre-shaded before the blue was put on, and then this panel liner after all this was done, right? It's a lot of work. It's awesome. It looks awesome, and having built models now, I mean, I've probably built a few hundred models in my life, but never really this good. Okay, Anyways, there's a lot of weird things going on here. There's some sort of antennae with a little silver paint on it. There's some sort of probe sticking out here with some silver paint on it. And you notice the base is matching the color up there. It's a little loose, but it's got like a sticky glue so it doesn't just snap off. There's two of them, but this one is matched with the gray over there, so that's neat. These are so... Oh, this isn't even centered. It's offset. I don't know what these white dots would represent. I can't even tell on the real photograph. Why would those dots be there? Interesting. Okay, a lot of weird hatches and whatnot. So we got the bulging engines here, and then some rectangles. We have some gunmetal thrusters there. Might as well look into the engines now. They're pretty deep, and they're like black back in there. There's some glue residue stringing across. Some sort of venting for some reason back there on both sides, just a tip there. I guess maybe this is the radar assembly and maybe this needs to be cooled down or something, not sure. So the camo's even on the inside surfaces there, the vertical tail fins there, and there's a dark shading on the top. The 4 and the flag star there is looking good. Registration number probably, and some other text in Russian. You got the tiny little canards, little no-step X's on them, very neat. These side pods, no idea what those would be for, but the camo's going around them very nicely. Very cool. Oh no, is this broken? Oh, that is really too bad. So, I think I can glue that in place. Yeah, I'm gonna have to come back. Hold on. Well, it wasn't hard to glue it back, but this is a mental note to Topgun Chen. You might want to just make your parts a little thicker. I mean, it's a cartoon airplane. It doesn't have to look correct. I would think you just want to increase the width of this 50%, because when you have a hole that big, there's almost no material going around that magnets, right? That's why it snapped off. So yeah, I think if the parts were just thicker, it'd be a more durable product. And it wouldn't really make much difference to the appearance. It's a cartoon airplane. Okay, I'm just repeating myself now. So anyways, yeah, they're all magnetized because the weapons are also magnetized. Makes adding and removing weapons really easy. Alright, so gunmetal, and again, a lot of extra airbrushing or fading. You know, it's like darker here and it's light, then dark again. Here it looks like there might be a little bit of bluish color or something. Like basically it's, you know, the heat of the metal being simulated. Very neat. A bunch of yellow and black dots. I don't know if there's like chaff, you know, flares or something. There's somewhat of a mounting hole for a stand, but I'm not sure why it's so shallow. Because when I'm touching here, there's a lot more material that could have easily had that hole a lot deeper, right? It's unnecessarily shallow, I think. Could go deeper. Anyways, all those mounting points look decent enough now. And then we have actually lightning holes there. Russian stars there. Some sort of decal crossing both planes, the top and bottom of the leading edge there. And then we have a whole bunch of blue. I don't know what these rectangles, why would these be inside? Leave a comment if you know. They're on the outside and the inside surfaces of this. Is that like deflecting heat or radar signatures, I wonder? Not sure. Some sort of warning symbol or sign there. This magnet and this are for the landing gear, and that must be a locator peg for the landing gear. Alright, so that's for the landing gear again. You can see the shading. It's like light coloring around the panel gaps. So that's pretty cool. Alright, again, no idea what these boxes or dots would be. Yeah, but they're there. Very nice. And yeah, this nose cone does come off. 2 magnets and a metal rod of some sort as the front edge. Front pin. I don't know what these things are even called, though. What's on the front end of an airplane. Anyways, I assume that's supposed to represent the radar. It's painted black. A bunch of ridges. Very nice. It's a very good tight fit because it's plastic on plastic. I assume that's the little 30mm cannon there. Alrighty. Oh, yeah, never mind. Some more no step things. The flaps are in the down position as if it's landing, or yeah, interesting. All right, well, I guess that's the outside. Let's see about the inside. All right, so we have two magnets there, two in here. You can see the striation of the 3D printing. What I like is the window is separate from the frame, so the separation of color is perfect, right? I wish all model companies did this. All right, anyways, the locator tabs look good. Some sort of ladder, I think, to get in and out of the airplane, maybe. There's a hatch back here as well. And yeah, you got these pilot heads, white helmet with these black dots, and then glossy visors. And if you take this a magnetic head, you can actually remove this, by the way. It's just some sticky glue, but I think I'll just leave that one on, or maybe I will just take one off. Well, let's see what the other face looks like. Oh, that's a lot more glue. That's just a concerned face, so I don't like that one. So let's see what else do we have in here. So the seats are green. They have harnesses as a decal, so if you get it without figures, it'll still look alright. The figures themselves have decals on the right arm, and then a gray harness, green jumpsuit, a little bit of yellow for the undershirt is nice. And it's really hard to see, but there actually is a decal for the instruments. I hit focus, get a flashlight there. I don't know if you're going to see that. But yeah, there's all the glass cockpit kind of stuff there. So the pilot does seem to have like the heads-up display thing. I do see in the photograph, but this person gets shortchanged, doesn't get that. Alright. Alright, so let's put this thing back on. So the pilot's going to have the visor down. This one, it's got a white mask, and this hose is like some sort of elasticated rope or cord. Alright, so that didn't leave a mark, so it's good. Yeah, I like that face. Crazy-eyed face. And I'm just gonna jam this thing back behind the seat so I don't lose it. But I don't necessarily, or I could put it by the feet. Well, let's see about here. Fortunately, the glue is keeping it from going down, so let me get rid of this. I don't know if there's enough room to get this. Well, there we go. It's not the most professional cockpit. Oh, there we go. Now you can't see it at all. So that's good enough for me. So 2 different characters. Very well done. There's even some decals here on the side next to where the arms would be, right? So that's neat. I don't know if you can see them. They're there. Oh. Oh, never mind. I'm holding it upside down. So I think you gotta get this black tab in first, kind of like this, and then let the magnets catch. Pretty good seal here. Yeah, nice. Not too much of an air gap. Not too bad. A little bit in the front though. This is also nicknamed the platypus because it's kind of looks like one. All right, I'm very happy there. Now let's get this bundle of stuff here. I'm gonna try to do flight mode first. Oh, I didn't even. We gotta get the rear stabilizers. There's a little recess here. Be mindful. I ended up cutting these off on one of my earlier reviews because I didn't realize those holes were there. So you could put this in the horizontal position, but if you have it in the landing position like this, you still see this piece of plastic there. So be mindful. You don't have to cut those off. Anyways, I like in the flight mode. So look at these crazy bombs or missiles. It's like yeah, it looks like a space missile, right? And there's a little opening here in this fin. Very cool. So you got 2 of those, whatever those are. No idea. You have 2, I assume these might be bombs. They have a little red tip. And they're very deformed looking. I like it. Okay, because this is a fighter bomber. This looks like, well, I was going to say a cruise missile, but it's got like a little turbofan on there. It looks like a tiny, like, RC turbofan, right? But it's attached to a giant thing. But that must be the propellant, right? Because there's no exhaust coming out here, so I don't think this is a rocket. I think this is a bomb, perhaps, and maybe this helps guide it or something. That's interesting. Please leave a comment if you know more about that one. I have never seen anything like that. That is quite interesting. I don't know why that's all clipped off like that. Alright. Two of whatever those things were. Then two, they look like maybe they're laser guided bombs, maybe? But it's interesting, there's 4 fins in the front. Maybe 4 of them steer, if I had to guess. They're open in the back. Maybe there are missiles. Maybe they're missiles. Then 2, like, what look like air-to-air missiles. Alrighty. And then we have 2 clusters of bombs on racks. Yeah, alright, interesting. And then you have the landing gear. So there's no flight mode. There's nothing to cover that hatch, but I don't think you're going to see much of it anyways. So I'm going to start loading this up. What would be the logical thing? This giant fuel tank thing, which I'm not sure why you would need fins on the front of a fuel tank. Boy, I guess instinctively I want to put it here, but that covers up the flight stand hole. Yeah, either position. So I'm going to have to skip that for now if I put it on a flight stand. Well, these have such tiny magnets as these missiles do. I'm pretty sure this is the intended location for these little guys. I'm going to put these gold ones here just because they're so big. Or will. No, maybe these are so big. Well, I don't know. I'm wondering if these will fit. I don't know if these are going to stack up because they're so long. Maybe that's where the cluster bombs go. I'm trying to find the magnets. Yeah, so these cannot go here, so we know that now. I assume the same scenario here. Yeah, there's no way those will go there. So I guess maybe these. Alright, so that actually makes sense. It's nicely done. They're all equally spaced. So those bombs go there. This bomb is so big, will it fit next to that big thing? This looks a little weird. They're literally touching each other, so maybe those are going to have to go there. So these funky turbofan ones, will they go here? That's not so great either. Let me try this. Try it on this side here, this one, and maybe these smaller things. Those work. Yeah, I almost wish this pylon, this inner one, was just a little bit more inward so you could get these giant things on there. But maybe on the real plane, these giant ones would never be there anyways. I assume that's the logic behind that. Alright, so those look all good. I think I gotta go with the gold missiles. So it's nice that you have 2 extra weapons and you can fiddle around with them. That is a serious loadout of missiles and bombs. Very cool. Alright, so the front landing gear. Oh, the antenna. Oh, thankfully. This person uses like this sticky stuff. So you see, it didn't just snap off. If that was rigidly mounted, I would have just broken it right now. So learn from my mistakes. I can't really put that down right now unless it's literally on the bombs. Okay. Nice assembly of stuff here. We have some jewel beads here for the lights. Whole sort of skeletonized frame. Oh, there's the ladder to get up into that cockpit. Yeah, so nice. Some sort of rear mud fenders, I guess, to keep dirt from getting under the plane. And then some wheels painted green, and then some black ribbed tires. They're hard, they're not rubbery. A little silver for the actual stanchion that moves up and down. That's a really nicely done thing. And then we have color matched panels for the open doors. And there's a magnet that locates, well, that's the way it goes. Alright, so now we have, oh boy, can't put it upside down. Yeah, a magnet here and at the top and a locator pin, and then we have this funky, interesting landing gear. Oh, because it lands at an angle, this bogey of wheels can change its angle. A little silver again for the stanchion, slightly, small panels, but they're color matched. So that pin is in front, so this must be for this side. Yeah, all right. I'm gonna remove this and just put it on our flight stand. So let's just see what it looks like flying. Yeah, all right, so you can put the flight stand even with all those bombs there. So it does work, you know, the hole is just, I just want things as secure as possible, you know, and there is room for it, so I kind of feel it would have been cooler to have that hole much deeper. Look how goofy this thing looks. I'm gonna get rid of these photos here. The cockpit is so tall. It's like the Choro Q of airplanes, you know, where the greenhouse is so high up. And it's nice that you can see through the windows, so you can see those pilots, right? Hold on, it's hard to see straight on, but the side view, yeah, I'm gonna turn this guy's head this way, this guy's head that way. Yeah, it's very neat. So, put a flashlight on the front end of this thing. Look at the bottom a little bit. So it does pose pretty well in flight mode. You're not going to really see that recess because it's so blocked by the nose. But you do see all the weapons very nicely, so yeah, okay, that looks good. Okay, comparison is pretty hard with such big models. But here's the J-15S, the carrier-based two-seater attack multi-role interceptor. I don't know. It's a plane of some sort. Actually, I want to put those in the horizontal position. I'll deal with that later. Anyways, this one here is the single-seater J-11B, I think it was. And you'll see it's got crazy armaments here. And this one is where I clipped off those pieces, not realizing they can recess into the tail fins. This one actually was missing, or lacking something. This is from a different airplane, so this is a great opportunity to maybe reuse one of these things on here. Yeah, alright, so I'm going to leave that bomb on that one permanently. So they're all roughly the same size. They're not to scale or anything, being deformed things, but they all look like they could live in the same universe, right? So they all have the same type of pilots, and it's really cool, really cool. All the different loadouts is nice. Alright, let's get these two out of here. There's one other one I'm going to show, because it's kind of similar as the E-2C. The E-2C is a flying radar station capable of tracking like thousands of enemies and engaging them. But the thing is slow as molasses, being a turboprop plane. So, I mean, this is a fighter plane, right? But it can only track 10 targets at once. This thing will only track thousands, I think, if I recall in the review. So it's interesting. They're both both side-by-side pilots. It's just that this is more of a performance vehicle. This is more of a slow and highly capable workhorse. Okay. Well, it's a little alarming to have a broken part. I'm not even sure how that could have happened during shipping because the foam packaging was so good. I think it's just, the design could just be a little more robust. Oh, it's possible the reason why they're so thin is they have to clear the fins of the missiles. But I also feel at the same time you could chamfer out, so basically the tips of the pylons come to like a pyramid, but the main body is wider. Maybe that could be a solution. I don't know. Well, anyways, thanks for watching, and hopefully I'll pick up another Topgun Chen thing soon enough. Take care.